Let me guess, your last apparel drop felt like a full-time job. You tried to do it yourself, you figured you could throw something together in Canva, just say new merch available, click here, and magically 150 shirts would have been sold. But by the end, you barely sold 25, and you swore this is the last time you're ever doing apparel because people keep asking for stuff, but they're not buying anything. Look, if all this sounds familiar, I want to be clear. The problem isn't apparel, it's the system or lack of one. My name is Matt. I'm with Forever Fierce. I've helped over 2,500 gyms sell millions of dollars of merch to their members. And I've seen this time and time again. Great gym owners drowning in merch chaos. Not because they're lazy, but because no one ever gave them a better way. This video is your wake-up call, not a pitch. If you've ever felt like merch just doesn't work and it's not worth your time, let's walk through why that happens and how to fix it. So what does the do-it-yourself merch process actually look like? And this is where I've done a lot of research on this, like clients who are just starting to work with us, they're coming from us doing their own process and they want to just sort of outsource this a little bit. Usually what these people are doing is they are doing all the design work. Either they're on Canva tinkering things around. Here's what the do-it-yourself design process really looks like. We work with a lot of new clients who are coming from doing it themselves to wanting to outsource it a little bit. Maybe their gym has grown. Maybe they first loved doing t-shirts, but now they just don't, and they just need someone to do it for them. But most of these people are doing all their design work. So either they're on Canva tinkering with stuff, they're ripping off other designs from other gyms, they're typing in cool gym shirts on Google Images and thinking that's going to produce something. Or maybe they have like a gig website like Fiverr, Upwork, something like that. And they hire someone from Bangladesh and they trade 1,000 back and forths with this person. Also, when I see a lot of this do-it-yourself merch stuff, people are never really happy with the design. They always feel like there's something more that can be done with it. So it always gives people that feeling of like, I could be doing a little bit better. I could be doing a little more. No one's ever fully satisfied with the design. And on top of that, they have to figure out the garment situation. So what's popular? Then they're in these Facebook groups asking, what are people printing on for tank tops? And they have to run the pre-order, which creates more administrative work. And then everything gets delivered and they have to chase people down for money and pass out the orders. Like, this sounds chaotic because it is chaotic and it's exhausting for a lot of clients. So look, I always tell people this, it's not that you're lazy, it's just you're in over your head in apparel. And that's not an apparel problem, that's a system problem. And honestly, it's not your fault. No one ever really told you how to do this, but it's one of those things that once we do introduce you to a more streamlined manner, you realize that having a system is gonna buy you back so much more of your time, money, and energy. So really, look, if you're used to doing this yourself, it's probably because you're a little bit of a control freak. I find that all small business owners are some type of control freak, but really I want to show you that this can be easy. You can trust a vendor and a partner to go to work for you and not be knee deep in all this t-shirt stuff. Here's what most gym owners miss about this process. It's that you're not just running a shirt order, you're running an experience. You want to build on that experience. And look, when this process feels messy, last minute, or thrown together, members can feel that and they're not going to engage. They're not going to order. They're going to forget and they're not going to care. So look, when you do these projects, you really want to be all in on the marketing piece and focus on putting it out there and framing it as a special limited edition thing that we are doing to, make Memorial Day better. For example, a lot of our clients run Memorial Day orders and they'll say, hey, everyone, we have our 12th annual Memorial Day workout. Just a heads up, we are doing pictures after the workout. It would be awesome if everyone could wear their shirt during pictures. It's a nice group photo that we like to put on the wall here. But see, that's enhancing an experience. If you're just looking to just sell crap to people, they're going to feel that. And you really don't want people to feel that way. And look, we see it all the time. Strong gyms with tight communities failing on merch drops because the drop felt optional. It just felt like something else to buy. And we really need to treat this like a campaign, not an afterthought. And look, it's not about doing more apparel. It's just about doing it cleaner, building in that urgency, linking it to experiences, linking it to seasonal stuff, and not just doing new merch available, click here. That's not a compelling reason for people to buy. Okay, so we've seen some of the issues with just, doing it yourself. What does an actual process look like? And really, I want to walk you through our system real fast. Again, it's just a 3-step quick system that works for any gym of any size. And the beauty about this system is that it's been tested tens of thousands of times. I've personally closed 28,000 orders using this exact system. I've sold millions of t-shirts. I've helped gym owners sell millions of shirts to their members. I want to introduce you to this very streamlined workflow because it will help you get through this process much quicker, much more efficiently. And step one with the process is working on the design itself. And whether we are working on a custom design for you, maybe you want to see some of our best sellers, that's totally fine with us. There's no design fee, there's no down payment to get started or anything. And just real quick about the design process, one thing I always tell people and I want you to think about is you want to design shirts that are meant to be worn outside the gym. And look, there was a time where people were like, I want the bleeding skull or the bullet hole in the skull with the barbed wire wrapped around the barbell. Look, like there's a time and a place for hardcore shirts, but I'll tell you right now, most people just want stuff that will fit into their wardrobe where they can wear it grocery shopping, they can go pick up their kids in the shirt, they can go to a sporting event. Really, people want stuff that can easily fit into their closet. Now, the second step in our process is working on samples. We do send free garment samples to the gym ahead of time just so you can see how things fit and feel. Really, I want to build trust between you and I, you and your members and our company, so that they know when they put the hoodie order up, they can go get everything sized up. There's no questions, there's no surprises how things fit and feel. Really, it's a great experience and everyone knows how things fit and feel and they're confident with their size. People are 70% more likely to buy if they touch, feel, and try things on ahead of time. Now, step three is the final step. And really, we want to build an online store for you and hold the pre-order for you because it's going to cut down your administrative work time. All you need to do is share the link we give you. We'll collect all the payments. We'll cut you back a profit check. So if the shirt costs 15 bucks, you sell the shirt for 30 bucks, you're making $15 per shirt. That's your profit. I don't take a cut of that at all. And a huge bonus is that everything arrives packaged and labeled. That's a quick overview of the online store function that we have. Again, I don't want to turn this video into online store stuff. So if you want to hear more about the online store and really how we handle things here at Forever Fierce, I've built this entire process out over the past 13 years and test run this 28,000 times. If you want to hear more about that, just do me a favor, book a call in the link below in the description. You'll jump on a call with me directly and we'll walk you through everything in much, much greater detail. Another reason why gym owners put off this merch thing or they get thrown into the chaos of merch is that they're like, you know what, we're not doing this. We're too small for merch to be worth it. And I'll ask a gym owner, how many members do you have? And they'll be like, I have about 120. And that is way more than enough to make this worth your time. I have 100-member gyms doing 1 to 3 grand in apparel drops every time they do it because they have a system, they have the right design. They're leaning on us to come up with the marketing and show them how to market this properly for their clients. And really, it's not about the size of the gym. It's about the system. It's how you leverage things. It's how you make people feel like they're part of a community and part of something bigger than just a place to go and sweat. And look, if you're only getting minimal orders, that's not a sign of low interest. It's a sign your process didn't inspire action. And again, I have another video on this channel about incentives, and that will give you a lot more clarity about what you need to do to inspire that action. And look, to wrap things up, you're really not supposed to be good at apparel drops. You did not open a gym to be a clothing boutique. You did not open a gym to be an apparel designer. You opened a gym to make an impact on people's lives and help them achieve their athletic goals. You're a coach, you're a gym owner, you're a leader. You're not a designer, you're not a fulfillment center. So look, if you're trying to do everything, it's not sustainable. It's just going to lead to burnout. And the biggest reason I see people who do all of this on their own, they think they're going to save all this money. I'm just telling you right now, once you start factoring in your time and energy, it absolutely is one of the most expensive things you can be doing. But when you outsource it to a vendor who can get you in and out of these projects in an efficient manner, that's when this becomes profitable. Again, I know gym owners sometimes have a hard time calculating like how much time am I spending on this? How much energy am I spending on this? But time and energy are 2 things gym owners don't have access of. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to save you time, money, and energy. So if you need someone to run your merch the right way, click the link in the description, book a call. I look forward to speaking with you soon.